he also was really drawn to touchy subjects. So it's like a brutal murder. Yeah,
he got pleasure in being dangerous.
Yeah, how many anal rape jokes did we hear? You know, how many?
Including, I must bring it up. The Swedish German.
That became
Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
That became a thing. Yeah, and actually, Conan and I were talking about this yesterday.
I had forgotten about this, and of course, you said that you sometimes see it online. And I'm like, okay, well, let's hear about that because you know me, I'm in the nose cone of the rocket.
Right.
I'm at the top of the pyramid.
Right. Your ivory tower. There's a lot of clouds underneath your window.
I'm up there counting my gold coins. I can't be concerned with what you're doing down in the moat.
No, people. I mean, every weekly, someone will just arbitrarily just call me a Swedish German. And it was
explain what that means.
I know. Well, I mean, I know they're Norm fans because Norm would do, and Norm was also like kind of a traditionalist. So he did the, talk to the talk show host, but then there's this guy over here, this one. Let's make fun of him.
Yeah.
And a lot of his jokes, he was drawn to the things that you're not supposed to say. So a lot of his jokes were about being queer, gay porno, this fellow over here, he enjoys the gay porno. And that became a thing with me. And at one point, he was talking about your ethnicity, you're Irish, I'm Scottish, what are you? And I said, I'm Swedish German. And he, for some reason, was like, really? And I was like, yeah, well, why would I make that up?
I'm Scottish. I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German? Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd, 'cause
it's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German. But that then later became a euphemism for gay. Yeah. The old prospector comes to town and wants a prostitute, but no, there's no prostitutes. There's just Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
And I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German.
It's outrageous because it's Norm. It's outrageous because it's on a talk show.
And it's you.
And it's me.
Yeah.
But and I think that some people think that I was somehow, and somebody else, a friend of mine pointed out, there's nothing, you can't do anything with that.
Right.
There's nothing to do with that when Norm MacDonald says, this fellow over here, and it would go to hey, Conan, have you met his wife?
But then you did say, at least I had my dignity, and says, you were raped.
Yeah, he goes to rape,
Yeah.
And
my God.
Got to be all secret. Nobody. I say nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people know about it. How do you figure that? He says, I'll know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
At least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice.
You weren't gay.
Right. No, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
And I said, but I never was that crazy about that because I would think, I'm sitting there and we're in a studio and we're laughing about it now. And it is the point of that joke is this fella's a queer.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very old-fashioned retrograde joke that we just don't do anymore.
Right.
And some jokes that we don't do anymore, we don't do them anymore because they shouldn't be done.
Right.
And we shouldn't have been doing them in the first place. So I was always thinking about the gay people that work on the Conan O'Brien show. Yeah. How do I look them in the face after being there and hardy-harring about the punchline being that I'm a gay fella? And and we're thinking about the people in my family who are gay. If they're going to watch that, how are they going to think when the real bottom line, what's funny about that is that I was supposedly a homosexual. And that I was, which to me, I always was it's like saying, this fellow over here, he doesn't want anybody to know it, but he's a secret Jew. his kitchen's full of matzahs. You know, it's like you would go like, what are you talking about? You know, what is that? How is that funny?
My kitchen's full of matzahs.
I know, but you're not a secret. But you know what I mean? It made me uncomfortable, not because I was afraid that people would think I was gay, because if I was gay, everybody would know that I was gay. It made me uncomfortable because there were people out there in the audience whom I love and care about, who would be left thinking like, what's so terrible about me that I am a joke, that I'm a punchline, you know, that how I am and who I am is a punchline to a joke. But that was when you're the kind of comic that Norm is, and you are going after any uncomfortable subject, and you're like, oh, let me get in there and you know, roam around and really get my elbows.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be ugly sometimes.
Yeah, and
it's gonna be uncomfortable.
Yes.
He also really enjoyed being around other comedians. Like, that's where he seemed to really come alive. I mean, he was a stand-up, but he also really liked being on in a you know, a situation with other comedians. And I've had people say to me, like, did it bother you? Because he, you know, like I said, I would be the butt of the joke sometime. And I would say, like, no, that's him. That's like practically like him showing love to me.
Yeah.
Like, he would not insult me if he thought that I, you know, was somehow inferior.
It's like being insulted by Rickles.
Yeah. It's like he's inviting me to play when he's making fun of me. Will Ferrell is definitely one.
Really happy to see you, Will.
So good to see you. So good to see everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like when my friends are on. Like, I like when Andy Daly's on.
Oh, shit, mother...
Will Arnett's a lot of fun.
You did a lot to promote Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, including you retweeted a picture of Miley Cyrus's underwear, wearing her underwear. Well, I think we have the photo here.
Yeah, she tweeted that out, and I figured, you know, if you retweet a person's crotch, maybe it'll go viral.
Right. So just because...
But like in historical terms on the Conan show, Scott Thompson was a wonderful guest. He used to come on all the older great. She hasn't been on in ages, though. Everybody, it's my little sister Stacy.
So cute.
Yeah.
Hi there, Stacy. It's really great to see you again.
Thanks a lot, Conan. It's awesome to see you again.
Wait, what? What was waiting?
This has been Wait What?
We're back with our remaining moments on Larry King Live. We bring two of the great talents, both formerly of Saturday Night Live, with us. David Spade is in Los Angeles. Norm MacDonald is here in New York. And now...
Hello, Norm.
Say hello to him.
Hi, David. David and I apparently are having some kind of feud. He left this message on my machine.
So what is this?
What is
David,
I
did you
don't
not
know.
want to appear with him tonight?
Norm,
Come on, David. Tell us.
I wouldn't pay $300 to have my hair blow dried to be treated like this. No, your hair is great.
Do you feel, David, that the star spotlight has been taken away by you, by McDonald tonight?
No, I don't mind. It should be.
Oh, you...
Norm's my buddy. Norm's one of the best guys out there. I've been watching this whole show, laughing my head off. I don't think Larry knows that Norm's a little kooky. And he's got some funny stuff to say.
What do you make of that? He's accusing you of not having all the marbles.
Good Lord.
Are you shocked?
Not having all the marbles? I'll tell you something about marbles. I haven't seen a kid playing marbles for years. China Syndrome is a great rental.
He's doing my column now. Okay.
Of all the colors, blue is my favorite.
Stop that.
Where is John Stamos?
When are you two going to work together? Why don't you do a movie together?
We'd love to. We've been trying to for a long time, right, Dave? Yeah. Norm's one of the few super funny guys out there that I'm trying to keep up with. He's a blast, and whatever show gets him next will be in great shape.
Well, David, do you think he's going to do a weekend update on the new Howard Stern show?
It seemed like that's what you told him. So.
It seems like that to me. I don't know why he's in some sort of denial over this.
Norm's a little tricky, but he's in demand, so I think they'll have him if he wants to do it.
Maybe Meet the Press will ask you to do it, and he'll come back then.
Meet the Press would be great. Tim Russert, right?
Yeah, you and Tim.
Me and Tim would be a great...
Load of laughs.
You guys lost me. He doesn't know who Tim Russert is. Anything about Tim Russert. He only knows supermodels. I get blank stares.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, Larry, you live next to me in Beverly Hills now. You knew Clampett. You're right next to me. I just heard you're going to come by
Don't give the address.
We're going to I know where you are. You're by Nate and Al's. My house has a water wiggle out front, and you're going to have to come by and hang out with me.
What is that? What's a water wiggle?
That's his thing for a supermodel. What an idiot. You're going to be part of Neighborhood Watch with me, and you're going to hold up your end. I don't care if you're out of town a lot.
Where do you live, Norm?
I live in New York City.
Here, the Gotham.
Yeah, the Big Apple.
But I've seen you in L.A.
Yeah,
I saw you with Chris Farley in New York.
Yeah, it's in Los Angeles, me and Chris Farley. Yeah, his story doesn't check out, does it, Larry?
No, so you
It's got some holes in it. I live in Los Angeles.
Good observation, Spade.
I'm by...
Coastal.
Get it out, Norm. Coastal, yeah. By coastal. No, what are you doing, No, I'm kidding. I'm
We've
kidding.
Got lots of admissions here tonight. Do you ever miss Saturday Night Live? Both the same question for both of you. David.
I miss hanging out with Norm and some other people there, but I don't miss how hard it was. It was a good 6-year run for me. It was fun.
But you don't miss doing the show?
I miss it in pieces. I like to host it, but right now, to do it every week, I'm too old now.
Norm?
I've only been gone like 1 week.
But you, unlike David, you were fired.
Yeah.
So distance is quicker to have. Do you miss it? All right, did you miss it last Saturday night? Did you watch it? You're stumbling.
I'll tell you something. I don't. Where I live, I don't get Saturday Night Live. You know what, Larry? They show. I watch Saturday Night Live, but I don't get it. Norm was at home with. Stop stepping on the joke. I don't know. I can't. Me and Larry are doing a little vaudeville here. I'm 2 minutes behind you on a tape delay.
David, what were you going to say?
I just heard the Siamese twins thing. No, I was saying that Norm sits home and there's just montage music and you hear, the road is long, and he's watching 6 TVs in his house. I used to, when I did the show, I'd always take off right after updates so I could watch the rest of the show at home. You know.
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, they want you to stay till the end so you can wave, because everybody waves.
You're not a waver.
Well, it's odd because sometimes the show sucks. And then at the end of the show, you're out waving like a jackass. But Norm, sometimes at the first 3 years I was never on, and I had to count that as a sketch.
David, thanks very much. Norm, thanks very much.
Thanks, Larry.
I want to thank Larry King for hosting this earlier.
Yeah, Larry
very
was
good.
Great.
Thanks for joining us. See you Monday night. Good night.
No, I was just thinking, you know, because they have that Viagra thing out.
Yeah.
And the other day, you know, Bob Dole came right out and said
he was one of the first.
Yeah. And you know, you don't want to hear about Bob Dole's cock, you know. I mean, President Clinton's cock, Bob Dole's cock. What the hell? But mostly, an old man like that, an old man. You don't want him to have a super hard cock. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? Because an old man, you want him to be got a pipe going, a newspaper, the dog at his feet there.
Well, that in some corners is considered pipe.
Oh. But now they're going to have to create some goddamn pill that makes women aroused at the sight of a fucking 70-year-old dude with a super hard cock. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, It's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is, you know...
Curtis Spade.
Oh, man. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming.
Dude, I know you didn't. He brought it all around and then a vicious rip kick into his best friend's gut.
Once there's too much cock talk, I try to just zone out for a minute until it goes back the other way.
If there's too much cock talk, this guy has fevered nightmares all night. Dreams, I mean, like sweaty, fevered dreams from the cock talk that's been all over his head.
Why bury me twice? He's killing me.
No, he's a good man.
That erased it. All right.
No, he's a good man.
Who cares?
After all that, that's the whiteout he puts on.
Yeah, I know, it's awful.
After he talks about you doing chin-ups on cock for 18 minutes. No, he's a good guy.
If you're gay, he's a completely straight guy. He gets a lot of ladies. You know that about him with the ladies.
Don't say ladies.
Women, girls.
Okay, thank you. Ladies, what are we, fucking on an FM station here?
He's Don Cornelius.
But these gay guys, man, I was reading, you know about the...
These gay guys.
I haven't even said hi yet. All right. Tell me what it is with these gay guys.
I know, I'm already...
I just read this thing about the George
You're reading
Michael.
a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a little time off. Now I read the newspaper. And this really strikes me about the gay community. I don't know if they're a community, but
called West Hollywood.
Yeah, they're gay, and it's, you know, George Michaels. He hangs around the bathroom. He has sex with multiple guys. This is
no way. You got to get it right. Hangs around the bathroom,
right.
And it was described as a lewd behavior, but I don't remember sex with numerous guys.
Well,
is that what you took away from it?
What does he do?
What were you, in the next stall?
I could have been just having a nice bathroom regular thing.
I don't know what lewd behavior is, but I don't know that he was in there with numerous guys. But anyway, go ahead. We get the gist of it.
This is definitely a gay thing, like, because this is a pop superstar. You know what I mean? You're not going to walk into a bathroom and all of a sudden Farrah Fawcett's like, ah, you know? You're not going to...
What? I love it.
What I'm saying is, why would a famous
what was she doing? Wasn't there some sort of cervical belt sander thing, or what was that? Oh, Christ, what are you, Linda Blair?
They do. That's what they do. Right?
That's what ladies that I know do.
Good to know that primetime exposure's paying dividends there, big guy.
I think that's what it is. It's that the gay, that's why they have separate bathrooms. Let's face it. If they had women and, women, as you call them, I call them ladies. If you had them in the same bathroom, like you go in the bathroom to do your business, see a man about a dog there, you know, and you're in the bathroom. You're in the bathroom. All of a sudden, a beautiful lady comes out. Oh, here's my vagina and breasts. You're going to be hanging out at that bathroom a lot. So I don't blame anybody for anything.
Can you believe Omar didn't get him?
We're all the same, man.
Have you ever met Omar since then?
Don Omar I met once, after he fired me.
Yeah.
Then I went and visited him in his office, which it wasn't an office I've never seen. It was like a wet bar and a bunch of weird sports trophies. He's a big sports guy, you know.
Yeah.
So he explained it to me what happened, but he did it all with sports stuff, you know. Like he said, man, you see, you're the number 3 hitter, but now you're going to be number 8. And then later on, Ken Griffey will show up. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And then I said, well, Christ, man, what the hell am I supposed to do? And he goes, I don't know, just walk it off, you know. And
I'll put it in sports terms why you got fired. You were fucking with OJ too much. That's exactly why you were fired, man.
Well, I don't know.
That's his buddy.
Yeah, it's his buddy.
Yeah, well, that's why you got canned.
OJ's a good guy. I mean, he's not...
Well, we got to end on that, Normie, but there's what they'll remember you by. OJ's a good guy.
Man,
Thanks for coming on. Norm MacDonald and David Spade. Stick around.
On your last show, I came out as a deep...
Take me on a journey. Take me far away from this life. I'd leave it in a hurry. Let's run away before morning light. You got me right.
Like some of your friends, like, seriously, like those guys who came out of Saturday Night Live, like Sandler, you, Chris Rock. There's a lot of guys who sort of all of a sudden are like real big players.
Yeah, Norm got his own TV show.
Norm's doing well. What?
What?
Do you hang out with Norm, or is it impossible?
It's pretty impossible because he's crazy.
He is.
In L.A., I call him and he goes, I go, what happened last week? I called you to go on. You called me? And I go, yeah. On my phone? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, yeah, I got that. I go, you didn't call me back? No.
And he's serious.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And yeah, I know. Like, I have him on the show.
I love him, though. He's the funniest guy around. I think you need to be kind of crazy to be really funny.
He is very funny. I love him, too. And he has a gambling problem,
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling us how
secret,
he was all excited that he had $80,000. He won $80,000 in Vegas, but he had lost like $100,000 on basketball.
Right, and that's on nickel slots. That's how serious he is.
Did you always know he had a gambling problem?
Mm-hmm.
You did. When did you know that? At Saturday Night Live?
I first knew he had a pee in a bottle problem.
Right.
Remember that? You always talk about
Yeah, it's great.
And then I knew.
Does he still save his urine? Do you know?
I don't know. He used to put it in Ziploc baggies, sign it, and send it to fans.
Is that true?
No.
Oh.
But he did. He would take, after Saturday Night Live, they give you a car, a limousine, if you want to go to the party, and he would take it to Atlantic City.
Really?
He's a hard ass. He's hardcore, dude. I
know he'll even get into fist fights.
And then he'll stay at a table for hours and hours.
What do you think of that?
I feel lucky.
And then you don't even know if he's married or single. It's never really clear.
I don't know, but I know girls like him. He's when you're something's that wrong, they pick up on it and like it.
They like the tragedy of that.
Fixer-upper, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna make him a regular guy.
Right, but it never worked.
Because David always wore like cool jackets to get girls or whatever.
Did it work? Behind the scenes of that.
Yeah, David gets girls like crazy.
Heather Locklear.
Yeah, like insanely
Name one.
beautiful
It's
girls.
because funny guys are attractive. Yeah. Funny's hot.
You've done a lot of impressions. Funny.
Most
look
awkward
at him. He's like,
come
really?
on I've ever heard in my life.
All I can say for sure is this, that it works this way with women. If there's one dude who beds a Kardashian and a Paris Hilton, he'll then get to, and a Lindsay Lohan, he'll get to mow through other Hollywood hot chicks.
Like David Spade is that guy.
Yeah, David Spade is that guy.
And I would say he's more, because Warren Beatty was always the gold standard, but Spade doesn't have the looks of Warren Beatty.
He's the aw shucks rapist.
Rapist?
Well, I don't know why you brought up rapist.
My Lord.
No, what I'm saying is Spade has quietly mowed through the entire bevy of blondes in this town, but he does it in a sort of unassuming way.
Yeah, Spade is an interesting character because he's outside of Hollywood. He makes fun of it, and yet he's deeply inside of Hollywood.
Balls deep, a lot.
Yeah,
many would argue.
No, but he'll be on red carpets, and I went out with him one time. He's like, "Let's go to a bar." We go to a fucking bar, and then people let us in, which is horrible. Like past everybody.
Right.
You go, let those guys in.
Yeah, there goes Spade and his bodyguards. His haggard bodyguard.
He's haggard is right. So
you and David Spade
that you like it.
are walking into a bar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was saying that?
Yeah.
So we go into the bar, so it's packed with people, and I don't like a lot of people now. And then you get a little fucking plastic drink, and you drink it, and then Spade goes, "Let's get out of here." And I'm like, "What?" And I don't even want to be there, and you're an inch from somebody's face, and so then we go to another bar. He does the exact same thing.
Right.
Let's get out of here. So he just goes places and exits. But
I think there's a power. I think there's a certain power in leaving.
Yeah, I guess there is.
Yeah.
But with women, he plays the long game. Like he's always texting them. He doesn't bed them the night he meets them.
Mm-mm.
Like a year later.
Right.
But he's got so many on
He
his.
fucks them in the bathroom. Yeah, but not on a bed. Never on a bed.
Wait, no.
I hear what you're saying. I'm reading between the lines.
I can't talk about Dave. Now it's going to sound like I'm saying that about David.
No. What he does is he quietly, here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. If you had a list of the famous coxmen of the town with the Warren Beattys of the world and the Wilt Chamberlains and stuff like that, somewhere in the 13th spot would be David Spade.
Absolutely.
And everyone would go, how do you get on this list? A cute little blonde guy?
I'd
What
put
are you
him
talking about?
way farther up than that. Way farther up. I'd put him maybe number one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In terms of sheer numbers.
Quietly goes about his business.
Yes, he does. And,
until we start talking about it.
I know, we shouldn't. But yeah, he's very self-deprecating about it. But he also, he knows everything that a young girl knows. Like that beautiful 20-year-old. He can talk to them about keeping up with the Kardashians and, whatever the hell.
Right.
And then, if I try to talk to a young girl, I go, you ever watch Matlock? It wouldn't work. But he has the same exact interest that they do.
Yeah.
So it really works,
When I first started, when I first came to Hollywood, my goal was just to get my name on there. You know how they write the names on the comedy store? Like,
I got my name on.
You got on
how long ago?
Yeah, about a year, almost a year ago.
A year ago. Yeah. I'm 61 years old.
I never got it on there.
You never got it on at all?
No.
We'll make that happen.
I don't think so.
I'll bet you we could.
It's got to be bigger than the rest now.
Well, let's see what I can do.
I don't like is when they make those dirty drinks.
Dirty Sanchez?
Dirty Sanchez. That's what you drink.
What dirty drinks?
No, they say like
pink pussy, like the pink pussy.
You don't have to be dirty. Well, the guy doesn't realize there's a TV camera aimed at him.
This is like your little brother.
God damn, man.
You have such control.
You were on a show that almost was the precursor for.
Oh, it definitely was a
precursor.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Because that's in Breaking Bad. But
Yeah.
also Weeds was like kind of
broke down the door for Breaking Bad.
Broke down the door
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Breaking Bad, he says.
And he's the post-cursor. I got nothing. Man.
He's just a cursor.
I'm just cursed.
God damn, no, your words you use. Pussy. You can say.
What was another dirty drink? What were you thinking of? You know me, I don't know shit about golf.
$25,000 a week he costs.
Is that right?
What? He says really.
Well, we also have to take a break.
Are you kidding me?
It says it right on the monitor.
We have no
Really?
sponsors.
Oh, I thought we do have a sponsor, right?
You know what's amazing that I didn't know?
We have no sponsors.
It's got word they have to take a break.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, let's take a break.
All right. Let's take a break.
Say it to the camera.
How do you take it?
Let's take a break.
And that's it. That does it. Go ahead, say something to me, and I'm going to show you how I act by reacting.
How are you feeling, Kevin?
In my head, I'm thinking, how am I feeling? All right.
Jesus, that was good.
I'm not finished.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm all right. You?
I guess I'm all right. I don't know.
Worst reaction ever. Doesn't even know how he fucked. But whatever, you need a sidekick.
You have a sketch that you wrote that gets like on at 12:55.
Yeah.
And then Lauren comes and goes, you got to move this down to 4 minutes.
Yeah, how do
gotta
you
make
do
it 3.5
that?
minutes.
How is that possible?
He says, we could either put it on or, we'll cut it and do it another week. And it's not going to get on another week.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
hard to
say,
do
"Oh,
that.
no."
You have to talk fast. And, you know what I mean?
No.
You don't know what
I
you
know.
have to talk fast means?
I know, but
That happened. How did you guys meet? Did you have to audition for this?
we covered that in the Tom Green episode. No, we met at Tempe Improv.
I like he's mad. He's like he's mad at you. We covered that in the Tom Green episode.
I was saying it to you. I met him when I used to manage the Improv in Tempe.
I didn't
where
ask you
met
if you
the
managed
first
the
time.
improv. I just asked you where you met him.
He's good with that.
Wasn't Kip Adada the guy who went over to? No, that was Kelly Monteith.
Kelly Monteith, another one.
He
But
went
these guys
over-
were all like established when I came in.
What's his name from
Richard
Chicago?
Lewis. That's it?
That's how he helps out.
He used to do the two-man act with Tim Reed.
Oh, Tom
John-
Dreesen.
Dreesen.
Yeah.
Greta was the best.
And the Little Rascals, I saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book was riveting.
And the Flying.
You didn't
Monkeys.
read the book?
No, but I heard it was
Yeah, you heard it
pretty
from me
good.
because I
Yeah.
read it. God damn.
That was
this
a word you kept
motherfucker.
using, right?
I mean, no offense to him, but he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Him and Beretta.
Adam do a joke.
All right. A good name for a dog is Syndrome. That then when he tries to attack someone, you can yell "Down, Syndrome."
Don't laugh.
It's not.
I apologize.
I mean, it's yeah.
That's like
It was a little insensitive, I guess.
Go by this one.
Movie star and award-winning director Ben Affleck has vowed to live for one day on $1.50, or as Adam Egget calls it, a raise.
He did the joke and you were the punchline.
Yeah, I'm broke. There's going to be a Broadway musical based on the movie Rocky. I don't know if you guys heard about this. In the Broadway musical version of the show, after Rocky climbs the steps of the art museum, he goes inside and spends 2 hours looking at paintings.
Yeah, I know, god damn.
Goes inside and looks at what? Paintings?
He looks at paintings.
I like that. That's a good one.
In England, a woman was arrested for throwing a birthday party for her 16-year-old son that included marijuana, alcohol, and strippers. Now she's got even bigger problems. What to do for his 17th birthday.
Whatever. You know what my favorite impression that you did was? When Sam Donaldson was on the chair.
That was hilarious. I loved you as the audience member in the Phil Hartman's Donahue sketch when the women, they were like battered wives or something similar to that.
Were you in the, thank you. Were you in the,
Thanks so much for calling in, Super Dave. Please come back.
I didn't call in, asshole. I didn't call in. You called me. I'm not calling into this. Let me explain something. If I'm homeless, I'm not calling in.
Duly noted, Super Dave.
You understand? You understand?
Yes.
Why is it that you can't, England's not doing well financially.
Right.
Can't you get you call them your mates?
Mm-hmm.
They're friends.
Yeah.
Everybody else in the world, they call them mates.
Sure.
Get a couple of dozen of your mates and go down to that Buckingham Palace and kill the old bag.
To what end?
Money. Right. And here you're kind of a, I don't know if you're a punk rock kind of a guy or what you are, but you don't seem to have much use for authority. Now, Egypt has the Egypt Spring, and they're like, we got to get rid of this guy. He owns half the money in the country. I mean, right? Let's get together on Facebook and we'll storm the palace. I feel in England, the people here in this room could get in there and take, the Queen has all the money.
She's got a lot of money, hasn't she?
She's the richest woman in the world.
Are you an old sea captain? What is this shtick that you... Are you drunk on rum? We were talking outside about why you never guest hosted for some of the... Now I'm beginning to realise. But, it's what's weird is you're not even drunk. And yet it's the illusion of it is extraordinary. Have you had a stroke? Or have you had a breakdown? It's a breakdown. You just had just a little light breakdown on the way in the car. Because I'm pretty sure I've watched some of these other editions of the show, and I'm pleased to see that I've broken from the rule of only having white blokes on the show, which seems to be you only have white men and Roseanne
because it's supposed to be a comedy.
Right. But it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be. It's allegedly.
But I'll send one joke and you can make a determination. So he said, remember the joke he did about Dahmer, where he essentially reads the UPI wire copy of the Jeffrey Dahmer trial, and it's so I mean, it could not be grimmer. It's like Hieronymus Bosch sort of, and he disemboweled the young boy and ate the entry of it, all that stuff. And it gets to the end of the joke, and Norm says, in his defense, Dahmer said he started it. It's such a Norm.
Hire him on the spot.
Hired him on the spot.
Yep.
Put him in a room with Drake Sather, the great Drake Sather, who was on that Young Comedian special with us. And they tinfoiled the window shut like Elvis. They both smoked Smicks.
Nuts.
And the head writer would go over and ask him for jokes at a certain time. And they bridled at that. And I said, listen, these guys are rare avis. Think of that as a like orchid hothouse. Those are two geniuses. You can't ruin the humidity in there. So I said, I went over to Norm and Drake and I said, listen, guys, I'm not going to take your best jokes. I don't want to know your best jokes. I need some 6s and 7s for this monologue. Because Norm would write jokes that I'd have to hand back to him. They were so brilliant. I said, I can't tell you, I'm not going to take this joke. This will be what something and Drake too. He was a stone killer. So they said, fine. So at 1:30, it literally is like the food slot in Papillon where the jokes would slide out into the door. And out of 12 jokes, some of them were so crazy that you thought, I'm going to go to hell just for seeing this joke. And then a couple were just they were two brilliant minds. And you know how they love to be left alone.
Do you know the comedian Drake say there?
Sure. Well, he's your half a man.
They were roommates. They were office mates.
Shit.
They were office mates at
that
Dennis
explains
Miller.
it.
We were really good buddies. But we figured we'd try to figure out how to write a movie.
Yeah.
So there was this course. I tell you this, right?
I think so, yeah.
There's this course. Robert McKee taught this course over 3 days at UCLA.
He's like the most
He's the hackiest, the worst.
But the most famous.
How to write in $3,000.
Yeah, exactly. So it's 10 hours a day. So me and Drake we're fucking lost immediately, like an hour in. We don't know what the fuck anybody's talking about. But he started the thing, by saying, he said, it's all about story. He goes, we all know people. It doesn't matter the contents of the story. It's how you tell the story. We all met great storytellers, and it doesn't matter what the story is. Like, because we've all met people, the worst thing could happen to them. Like their child could die, but they tell the story as nothing. Meanwhile, another woman could be telling a story about how she missed the bus that morning, and just captivate you, with all the detail, and it'd be fascinating. So then for the whole rest of the 10 hours, Drake kept turning to him and he'd go, hey, Marjorie, I don't mean to be insensitive, but that story of your boy dying, bit of a yawner. I don't know if you've heard Mabel's story about getting on the bus this morning, but might pick up a few pointers. And then you just do different variations of it all day long.
Oh, but I am trying to be healthier, though. I want to quit smoking, but I just know if I do, I'm going to go right back to cocksucking. Isn't that how it is? You drop one bad habit, another one marches right in there, And the oral habits are the hardest to break.
I know to smoke.
I'll smoke it for you. If
No, I'm trying to.
I just figured it would be rude not to offer you a light.
It's nice, but I'm trying not to. And I feel if I
sitting there with a cigarette,
I feel if I took one puff. I have an oral fixation, my doctor tells me, which is not good.
How did he know that?
I was sucking his cock. Welcome to Norm MacDonald Live, episode number 2, and tonight we have the great Tom Green on the show. We will be asking him questions, interviewing him. I will be interviewing him along with my trusty sidekick, Adam Egret.
It's Egret.
Egret.
Yeah,
He's right.
I had a little guy on my show that I found in the
A little
Royal York.
person.
A little person.
Should explain to the folks.
And he was an alcoholic. And
like Adam
we
Egret.
put him up. Yeah, we put him up at the Royal.
Okay, we're back with Adam Egret and Egret rather. Here, Fred.
I'm Adam.
Whatever. Well, that name's a name. Jesus Christ, it gets fucking.
You knew what he meant.
A new study shows dogs can tell when people are doling out fake praise. So I guess that's the one thing that differentiates my dog from Adam Idget. Who's Adam Idget? Oh.
Just a funny name.
Oh, just a funny name? Okay, all right.
Adam Idget is him.
Oh, I didn't know that's your last name.
His name is Adam Egget.
Egget.
So
I had no idea you were Adam Egget.
Be nice to
I
him.
forget sometimes.
Okay. I'm not saying that your trusty sidekick, Adam Egget, is dumb, but on his contract where it said sign here, he wrote Capricorn. To a Letterman.
That's so dumb.
What's an octoroon?
Well, I don't know. It seems to me some
eighth of a black guy. Is that what you're gonna say?
Isn't it an octoroon, Andy?
It is an eighth of a black guy. Who is Andy? You were just,
who is Andy?
You just said Andy.
I was thinking of Andy Kindler, my good friend.
Because you're
I
pointing.
thought he was here.
No,
It seemed
it's
almost
Adam.
like it was point. Yeah,
Adam.
that's
Well,
fine.
Andy and Adam.
No, it's
That's
fine.
great.
It sounds close. Adam
Yeah,
Sandler,
it's
Andy
close enough.
Sandberg.
You a
know
boy.
what I mean?
Adam.
Yeah.
How could I forget that? Adam.
We're gonna have Adam Egget do a joke.
Oh, good. And it's Adam, not Andy.
No, I know. I'm trying.
You don't hear any more about...
In the camera.
Oh, sorry. You don't hear any more about Bob Costas' infected eye. Who is stonewalling this investigation? I'm thinking about a year I would work on my delivery.
We don't hear any more about Bob Costas' infected eye. Who's stonewalling this investigation?
He's a consummate amateur.
Neil Patrick Harris posed nude for the cover of Rolling Stone except for a hat hanging off his wiener. And this morning, Adam Egget. Oh, is that your name? Fucking change it. And this morning, Adam woke up and said, "Hey, where's my hat?"
Neil Patrick Harris is cock.
It's on his dick. Go get it.
I bet Neil Patrick Harris fucking shoved his cock deep up his asshole. Huh? Adam Egret, who is, by the way, I'll just remind you, he's over here. That's him. Yeah. It's a joke, an Adam Egret joke.
How do you say the name?
Adam Egret.
Egret. Spelt differently.
Like the bird.
That's Egret.
Do you know what Adam Egret has in common with a guitar player?
Adam Egret has in common with a guitar player. No, I don't know.
They both love fingering minors.
Now, okay. Come on now. Come on now.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith did.
Go into those, you know.
What was your thing? Goodwill Smith? How'd that one go?
I was just, it's, you know. It's,
on Mad TV, they would often
like parodies.
combine two things.
I pitched a thing called
Goodwill Smith.
Goodwill Smith. And he worked at an all-black college, and you know the the problem on the blackboard that no one could solve was 2 + 2. Then Will Smith plays a janitor who puts a 4, and they go, "Who solved it?" It took the professors 8 years to figure this one out. They rejected it. They said it was like racist.
I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go of everything in the past. I'm scared of letting go.
Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
Well, a study this week reports seafood is good for you unless it's fried. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A new study says that people who quit smoking have healthier lungs. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A person who suffers 2 sharp, powerful blows to the head within a short period of time can suffer brain damage or even die. This, according to a new study in the medical journal Duh. Dr. Jack Kevorkian was responsible for another death this week, this time a 58-year-old woman. She is the 26th of Kevorkian's patients to die since 1990. When are people going to realize he is not a good doctor? Do not go to this man. He's incompetent. He's terrible. Dr. Jack Kevorkian and 7 associates have unveiled new guidelines for doctors in planning physician-assisted suicide. Rule number 1, get paid in advance. In a Michigan courtroom this week, Dr. Jack Kevorkian was acquitted of murder charges after jurors agreed that he had made a compelling argument for assisted suicide. Last week, during his latest trial on charges of assisted suicide, Dr. Jack Kevorkian startled a Michigan courtroom when he stood up and shouted, "This is a lynching." Everyone turned to look, and sure enough, he just lynched some old guy. Tomorrow night on 60 Minutes, Dr. Jack Kevorkian will sit for his first ever in-depth interview. According to producers, Kevorkian agreed to the interview only on condition that it be conducted by veteran correspondent Andy Rooney. Wait, don't do it, Andy. It's a trap. It's a trap. This week, Dr. Jack Kevorkian was granted an emergency 30-day permit to carry a handgun after telling a court that he fears, quote, right-wing nuts. But if you ask me, I think Kevorkian's just getting a little lazy, In other news, authorities in Pontiac, Michigan are trying to determine if Dr. Jack Kevorkian was involved in the death of a woman whose body was found in the back of his suicide van. I'm no expert in police work, but yes. In music news, Dr. Jack Kevorkian has performed and recorded a 1-hour CD of his own jazz compositions for the flute. Dr. Kevorkian, I've listened to your CD, and I've got some advice. Don't quit your day job, all right? Murdering old people, stick with that. Stay away from the flute and stick with the murdering old people. This is my advice. Dr. Jack Kevorkian announced this week that he will start to offer organs taken from his suicide patients to people who need transplants. In addition, Kevorkian promised that anyone who does not get a life-saving organ will receive a free murdering. There was outrage in Detroit this week when Dr. Jack Kevorkian helped a woman commit suicide in a local church, leaving her body inside the church building. According to Kevorkian, murdering people in his van has almost completely lost its sense of blasphemy. Hello, how are you? And finally, in medical news, there are reports that suicide doctor Jack Kevorkian is considering retirement. As Kevorkian put it, "I always said I'd quit the day it stopped being fun." Well, the holidays are upon us again, and that can mean only one thing: a dramatic increase in suicides. Hi, I'm Dr. Jack Kevorkian. After I introduced my suicide machine 2 years ago, I got a flood of letters thanking me. But I also received letters like the following. Hey, Dr. Kevorkian, your machine is great for people with painful terminal illness.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer...
Dr. James Watts, a neurosurgeon who performed the first frontal lobotomy, died this week in Washington. If you recall, a lobotomy involves drilling holes in the skull and then inserting and rotating a knife to destroy brain cells. What a genius. He'll be missed. Psychiatrist Kurt Freund, one of the world's leading experts on the study of deviant sexual arousal, passed away last week at the age of 82. Dr. Freund's last words were, quote, "Whatever happens to me, can someone please make sure that the headline of my obituary does not contain the phrase deviant sexual arousal?" Would that be too much to ask from you, you dirty...
Yesterday night, because I'm trying to get into fitness. So for the past 2 days, I was doing those weights and all that stuff. So then I was like, yeah, I'm going to run. And then I looked on the computer about running, and they said barefoot running was good.
Yep.
So I barefoot ran on this sidewalk, and then I cut my foot. And then I had to walk back like a half a mile with a cut foot, so now my foot's all weird.
Yeah, they are saying that barefoot running is the way to go. In fact, they have these ridiculous shoes that protect the bottom of your foot, but each individual toe. But I've thought that often. If you're a man from the Western world, your feet are not exposed that much to rocks and glass. It's not like in Kenya where they run for
That's what Steve was
30
saying.
miles. Yeah. So we're very susceptible to what is on the ground. You could end up with tetanus. You could step on something infected with something. My suggestion to you would be to run with shoes.
That's what Steve's worried about because I just put some water on it, but my feet are still
water.
My feet are still filthy.
Oh yeah,
like the bottom of them look like homeless guys' feet.
Oh really? Now, have you bathed since the run?
I soaked it, but it's the black it's deep, that black. Whatever,
like tar and asphalt.
It's dug into your skin now.
Yeah.
So you're getting very much into fitness because we taught you. By the way, you were great when we talked to you on the phone. Unfortunately, the guy producing it didn't have your voice in any of it, so we couldn't play it.
Really?
Yeah, but you were. So if any of this seems redundant, I apologize. I'm sorry that you had to get up to do that. Norm MacDonald, by the way, 2 shows tonight at the Wilbur Theater. You can get tickets at thewilbur.com or call Ticketmaster at 1-800-745-3000. So since when and why has exercise become this passion of yours?
3 days ago.
Yeah. What occurred to you where you're like, you know what, I need to start running outside and lifting weights and researching this stuff?
I had these weights that somebody gave to me a long time ago, and so I was lifting those for a couple days. I was starting to feel really good. Then I went for a swim. And then that was like the night before last, and then I was like, yeah, everything's going to be different now. It was horrible.
So you're working out now and stuff, right?
Yeah, how about you?
I worked out a couple times. I liked it when I was young. I didn't have, you didn't have to work out. You were just in good shape.
Yeah.
And I was in my best shape back then. I think I was seriously, when I was when I was 1. That's when I
reached your peak when you were 1.
My God, I look great. You wouldn't know me now. You see me back then. I was young and fresh.
I can imagine.
Even for my age, people would come up to me and go, what, are you 0?
I don't work out. I'm a weak man. You know that, Dennis.
Well, listen, you and I were on the Mount Olympus of weakness.
And not just physically.
No, in every way.
In every single way. So, I told the guy that, and he said he couldn't do anything except for the physical bar. But I don't know if he was the best trainer anyway. He was smoking a butt the whole time.
No, that's not good.
That's just a joke. He was a big guy. And but I told him, I said, look, I don't want be big like you. I don't want veins. I have no use for that in my arms, or abs. I don't want abs. I don't even know quite what they are. All I know is they were invented around the 80s. And I don't even know what you do when you get them. You know what I mean? Because you got to wear a shirt. You just go to work and go, hey, you want to see these things on my belly? Everybody's like, no. But so I told the guy, I said, I'm here for one reason only. I want to have one hot ass.
Now, folks, I don't like to brag, but like Schwarzenegger, I did a little bodybuilding back in the day, too. But I'm guessing you guys wouldn't want to see that, though, would you? Okay, all right, sure. Let's hope that doesn't live on the YouTube forever, long after I'm dead, out of context.
Some days we get closer, things that we never really needed, promises that we never thought of keeping safe. I guess it's never over if we never got a chance.
I never worked out or anything like that because, you know, I always felt like you can't, like if you're a dude, you know, you can't really, the ladies don't seem to care, at least that's what they say. And then also, I don't think you can get like a perfect body. I think if you're a lady, you can get a perfect body. But if you're a dude, I don't think you can get like a perfect body on account of you got like every dude seems to have one of those like a sack, you know, a sack, right? And so, no matter how perfect your body is, if you got a sack, you know, it doesn't look very good. You know, you don't have a good-looking body, basically. You know, no matter what. You show me any dude, go, hey, look at that guy's body. I go, good God, what's that fucking thing? That guy's got a sack on him. You know, it's not a good-looking body. You ever see a guy with a good-looking sack? You know, you ever hear a guy go, hey, Bob, you know what your best feature is? Me and the guys were talking about it. Your sack. Holy Lord, that's... You doing something different with your sack lately or something? God damn, it looks good. Good-looking sack you're toting around there, I'm telling you. Right? You can't work out on that or anything. Got no machine, got no sack of steel. They're just giving up on that, man. That's why I'm surprised the fucking those plastic surgeons. Why are they working on the sack, man? Guy goes like, man, I got a little thing here, a line under my eye. I'm gonna get that taken care of. Meanwhile, huge ancient old sack hanging out. Yeah, that's my problem, man. That eye thing. Got a little crow's feet there, man. I get rid of them, and I'll be good. Sack's old too, man. That's older than you, your sack. I don't know how that worked out. You know what I mean? You can have a dude like 25, his sack's like 100 years old. Right? Sometimes you turn to it for advice. You ever do that? You go, what? You go, what would you do, wise old sack? You know? He's like, I tell you something, son. You ever see an old guy's sack like that? Old guy's sacks are really old, because they're like 80, their sack's like 400 or 500 years old. It's like a fucking old, like a tree or something. It's not like a tree, but trees are old. I read that in a book.
One quick Mitch Hedberg story. So I opened up for Mitch Hedberg like 22 years ago, and he comes up to me after the show and he goes, "Hey, Artie, man, you're a fat guy." I go, "That's what he said." I go, "I could lose a couple, but what are you talking about?" He goes, "I wrote a joke that I can't do because I'm not fat, but I'll give it to you." I go, "All right." He goes, "You know when you're a kid and they tell you to wait a half an hour after you eat before you go swimming?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You should say you've never been swimming because it's never been more than a half an hour since you last ate." And I go, "That's a great joke. Can I can have that joke?" He goes, "Yeah." So then he comes back and he was smoking a lot of weed. So he comes back totally serious. He goes, "Hey man, you're right. That is a good joke. I'll make you a deal. If I gain like 100 pounds before you do that on TV, I get the joke." I'm like, "All right, whatever." So, okay. So cut to like a month later. I'm with Norm MacDonald having dinner with people. And Norm does that joke. about me. He goes, hey, man, it's Artie's never been swimming. It's never more than half an hour since he last ate. I'm like, where the fuck did you hear that joke? He goes, I heard a fat guy do it at the Comedy Store. I go, really? So I see Mitch 2 weeks later. I go, Mitch, what the fuck, bro? You gave me that joke. Norm said he saw a fat guy do it at the Comedy Store. So he's all fucked up, and he goes, hey, Artie, man, listen, I'm sorry. I get fucked up a lot. I forget shit. I probably gave that to a lot of fat guys.
Homework liker, who is becoming my new best friend,
yes,
says Norm carries 46 clubs in his bag. Yeah, club sandwiches.
I do like a club sandwich.
That's not an insult. That's harmless joshing.
I do like a club sandwich.
Mitch Hedberg had a great run.
Oh yes, what was it?
Like, what do you have to
join the club?
Yeah, do you have to join? What I don't even would never dare. Okay.
Do you like sandwiches that have a toothpick in them?
Okay.
With green and red cellophane? I do too. Perhaps we should begin a club. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I order the club sandwich all the time, and I'm not even a member, man. I don't know how I get away with it. I like my sandwiches with 3 pieces of bread. So do I. Well, let's form a club. Okay. But we need some more stipulations. Yes, we do. Instead of cutting the sandwich once, let's cut it again. Yeah, 4 triangles. Yeah, and in the middle, we shall dump chips. Let me ask you a question. How you feel about frilly toothpicks? I'm for 'em. Well, this club is formed then. I like to take a toothpick and throw it in the forest and say, you're home.
And he had a golf joke.
He did?
That's good. He said, when I'm golfing, I never say 4. I can't think of it in time because I'm busy saying, no way it's going to hit those guys.
I play golf. I'm not good at golf. I never got good. I never got a hole-in-one, but I did hit a guy, and that's way more satisfying. You're supposed to yell 4, but I was too busy mumbling, there ain't no way that's gonna hit him. You know, when it comes to racism, people say, I don't care if they're black, white, purple, or green. Oh, hold on now. Purple or green, you gotta draw the line somewhere. To hell with purple people. Unless they're suffocating. Then help them.
And I know people, hate people for all kinds of reasons, Some people hate people because they're a different color, black or white or something like that. I don't care if a guy's black, what. Hey, let me tell you something. I got a thing I realized. You know when a guy's racist is when he goes, if he says something like this. He goes, I don't care if a guy's black or white or brown, yellow, blue, green, or anything. You're like, what the fuck is green? I don't care if a guy's purple. Any of those goddamn non-human colors, they're all the same to me. Purple, black, same thing to me. If the guy's a black guy or a purple guy, I treat him the same. Isn't a purple guy? That's a fucking monster from outer space. Who the hell likes those guys? You gotta kill them. You gotta kill those guys, right? Stars, it was good to see those workaholic guys because I personally am a workaholic. For many years, I was helplessly addicted to workahol. The Roastmaster General, Jeff Ross, joins us.
Hi,
Yes.
Jeff. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Oh, you got the
Hello,
first
world.
applause. Yeah.
Norm, this is so fun. Thank
Jeff,
you for having
man.
me on your live podcast.
It's always fun to see you without a giant cloud of marijuana smoke between us.
Well, it's outdoors. It drifted away.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? You got your hair cut a little.
I had a little trim. I was at the doggy groomer for 2 hours today.
Now, I have a question, Jeff. You usually show up wearing something very exotic.
Yeah.
Why the denim today?
I dressed like Billy Jack.
Yeah.
You look sharp.
great.
I like
I
it.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're trying to up my game for the live YouTube show.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're a hot fucking piece of ass.
Look at that. I do all my shopping at the mall. Have you ever been to Forever 41?
Forever 41.
Norm, you're
Listen.
dressing like you're going to help somebody move. You're wearing sweatpants to the biggest show in YouTube history.
This is the biggest show on the internet.
You dress like you're going to paint the set.
He can't help himself. I gotta ask you this though. Hey, I saw, by the way, on the computer, a show you do now called Morning Roast. Unbelievable. You wake up in the morning, you turn on your computer, there's Jeff Ross waking up himself, roasting somebody. How's that work?
Well, whatever comes to my hungover head, I just start making fun of, and
Yeah.
I put it up on my YouTube page.
God damn, it's funny.
Who should I roast this week?
What about Cassim?
Yeah,
It would be an honor if you could just do me.
He's an Arab, if that helps.
I only roast celebrities, Cassim, so you're off the hook.
Thank you.
What do you dress like? You're like Harry Potter's accountant.
You just thought that up.
Well, I want to thank Jeff Ross for turning the mirror on me today. Back to you guys over there.
Like the inventor of a cure of some disease we haven't thought of yet. Look at you, like Orville Redenbacher's fluffer. I don't know. This is fun.
Good.
Thank you.
Of course, Bob Saget directed Norm Macdonald's movie Dirty Work. Yeah. A move that transformed Norm Macdonald into a star, Buck's employee.
Did you say something after Star?
Norm Macdonald's so stoned he thinks he's at a roast for Bob Seger. I love you, Norm. Wow, you never come out, Norm. You're like the J.D. Salinger of dick jokes. What's the over-under tonight? What's going to happen, Norm?
No, I wanted to read something funny, so I'm reading Marmaduke.
Oh, my God. This is what happens when you book a dais off Craigslist.
Saget roast where he was told not to work blue, and so he was told to tone it down, and then he went the completely other way. Is that what happened?
I had not heard that he was told to turn it down.
Right.
I thought he made.
You was told to turn it up?
I thought he made the choice to go so soft that was the joke. Because Saget's roast was one of the few roasts where it was mostly comics, mostly body comics, and at that point, Saget was really digging into that stuff.
Right.
The Aristocrats movie had just come out. Bob was having this resurgence as Dirty Daddy, and really a contrast from his Full House persona. And we were all went in really deep. And I purposely wrote my speech without one curse word, just to make a point that you didn't have to be funny to be dirty.
Right.
And that was my spin on it. Norm took it one step further and did Farmer's Almanac type jokes. That were, like, hey, Cloris Leachman, people say you're over the hill, but don't listen to them. You'll never be over the hill. Not with that car you drive. And we looked at him like, is he having a stroke? But I already knew Norm will always go for the best joke, the way he would on SNL, the way he would on late night shows. Publicists be damned, he wanted to have the most provocative joke that the comics would talk about the next day. But on this show, he did a conceptual piece to throw softballs around the dais in an affectionate sort of way. And you can see when you listen back, the first few jokes, people are kind of polite laughs, nervous laughs. I'm a producer. I'm almost panicking.
Right, yes.
Like what, is he tanking this on purpose? We already had Artie Lang not show up. We don't want this to be a disaster. But about 5 jokes in, I can start giggling. I start to sense that something's happening. And they buy it. The audience, by the end, they're roaring as if he was Andrew Dice Clay, but doing these very soft jokes. And I think it was a nice denouement, or a nice chapter from his post-SNL where he was provocative and pushed the envelope, especially with his OJ jokes.
When'd you first meet him, Norm Macdonald? Jeffrey?
Oh, man. I met him. It was probably 90 or 91. I was just transitioning from open micer in New Jersey to opening MC act in comedy clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And man, Rich, I was excited. Catch a Rising Star Princeton. There's like 8 shows over 5 days or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was really going to like get some stage time. And Rich Voss, a very funny guy, was the middle act. None of us knew each other. And NORM MACDONALD flew in from Toronto. He had just done a bunch of, was it Sajax or something, who had the late night show? Or was it...
yeah, he did for a while. He did. Yeah.
I think it was Sajax. And he hit on that show and became like, he was popping. But no one in America really knew him.
Right.
And Norm was, this is 91, that type. This is when America, especially in New Jersey, most people wanted to see Andrew Dice Clay in an arena doing nursery rhymes.
Yes.
Now Norm comes in with this button-down shirt and a blazer, and hey, like you couldn't barely understand him, and his material was tight, and callbacks and crafted and honed and economical use of the language. Like it was fascinating for a comedian. But if you were just a couple of knuckleheads with your dates to catch Princeton, you're used to seeing hickory dickory dock.
Yes. Yes.
He didn't bomb. He didn't hit all the time. He bombed probably 3 out of the 8 shows. And this is one of the craziest things, and I've never seen it before, Rich. After the shows, as people were paying their checks, Norm would go to the exit and greet every single customer as they left.
Come on.
The more he bombed, the longer he stayed there. And it was so hilarious, and it made him a mystery to me, an enigma to me right away, why he loved that part of it. And if he killed, he'd go right out the back to the green room and break out a deck of cards, and we'd play poker. He'd love to play poker. So my first experiences with him were very, very all in, we should say.
So he'd invite me over to SNL once in a while to play poker on off nights, on Monday nights or something. And to watch him play poker while watching Monday Night Football and a baseball game, like he was a gambler.
Right.
And I guess somehow one time I found myself on a tape night, on a live SNL. I'm in the hallway. I believe Rosie O'Donnell was hosting SNL, and her very best friend, Penny Marshall, was there to support her. Penny Marshall, at the height of her movie director swag, is walking through the hallway with her head down, sunglasses on, baseball hat, doesn't want to be bothered, treating all these basically writers and NBC employees and me and Norm as big timing us, pretending we're just looky-loos out on the street, right? Just doing a celebrity don't bother me moment. Flyby, thank you. And Norm picks up on it, and he just starts pointing and screaming, Laverne! 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 And she didn't look up. She never knew it was Norm. She was just gone.
Oh, my gosh.
Last week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April. Well, earlier this week, actor Marlon Brando met with Jewish leaders to apologize for comments he made on Larry King Live. Among them, that, quote, Hollywood is run by Jews. The Jewish leaders accepted the actor's apology and announced that Brando is now free to work again. While in England, where he spoke at Oxford University, Simpson had defended actor Marlon Brando's criticism of Hollywood Jews. Later, from his island hideaway, Brando sent O.J. a telegram which read, "You're not helping." In Cincinnati, is Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott an anti-Semite? Well, it is beginning to look that way. According to a report out today, on the entire Cincinnati Reds team, there is not one Jewish player. A group of Orthodox rabbis declared that other branches of Judaism are, quote, not Judaism at all, thus challenging the religious status of millions of American Jews. This week, that statement was rejected by Reform leader Rabbi Don Schonstein, who said, quote, our legitimacy as Jews flows from the richness of our Jewish lives, the strength of our Jewish communities, and most important of all, our deep and abiding belief in Jesus Christ.
You say there's no way we could go back, and that I've broken what we had. I wish that you would come around. No.
Finally, folks, next week, Jews everywhere will be celebrating the holiday of Yom Kippur, or as non-Jews refer to it, Wednesday.
Do you know about this girl? She's mad at you. She was on the Greg Fitzsimmons show. Did you hear anything about this?
I know Greg Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Greg does a show for us, and Greg was interviewing some girl, and she was going off.
I know who it is.
What's the girl's name?
You know, me and Norm have worked with her before. That's why he's going to laugh when I say the name. Laura Keitlinger. Hates your guts.
Did you know she hates you? Oh my God! Do you want to hear the clip?
Sure.
All right. Okay,
when Dirty Work came out, Comedy Central had a show called Canned Ham. It promoted movies, and me and Norm did it.
Oh, she hosted.
And she was the host.
You
And she
liked her,
seemed,
right?
But she seemed fine.
You have no problem with her.
She was on SNL.
Okay, listen to the comment on this, if you will.
By the way, wait, can I interrupt your old friend, Norm MacDonald? Did you guys write together on,
He's not a friend of mine.
Roseanne,
right?
Well, I was just using it loosely.
Now, you had a
Oh,
reaction
boy,
just
not a
now to
friend
Norm
at all.
MacDonald. Not a friend, not a fan.
You worked with him, though.
At Saturday Night Live.
Roseanne.
No, I missed him at Roseanne. Well, I came in, and he was supposed to be the my guide through SNL, and it turned out that he is a shit stirrer.
He was busy pissing in a bucket in front of people.
Well, no, he loves to pit people against each other. He used to find articles where somebody said one thing, and then he'd stand in the doorway and laugh. He'd find an article where Janine said something about Adam, and just create all this havoc. So it's funny that you said that, because he's probably one of the few people I really don't like. Yeah. Norm is someone who really sticks out. Well, to you. Because it was such a kind of a vulnerable time, being because it was the first time I'd ever done live TV and stuff, and he really, and for all of us, really kind of made it difficult.
What about Norm MacDonald? You're at war with him as well. You two don't like each other.
Warring with Norm?
Here's what Norm said.
Oh, good.
I got it for you.
Another one.
Chris and Norm MacDonald apparently hate each other. This is according to my notes. When Norm hosted Saturday Night Live, Chris did not appear on the show. Wow.
Wait, when was it?
In November of '97.
Oh, right.
Norm said of Chris, I don't know, but to me he seems gay. He claims he's not, but I've never seen a guy who's not gay seem so gay. I don't find him funny. What can I say? Never made me laugh. What happened between... First of all, I don't believe you're gay, are you? I know someone you dated.
No, I'm not gay.
Yeah, you dated.
And he's certainly had to have laughed at you once or twice.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
a funny guy.
Right.
Well, that was the.
I mean, your
Rolling
characters.
Stone
Some of your
article.
characters are effeminate, so maybe people will think you're
Right.
gay.
Like Mango's, he's
gay.
Queer as day.
Right. So
yeah.
So is Norm a homophobe? Is that the problem? He doesn't like gay
definitely
characters?
think he has a problem with
But give me the history of this. I love feuds.
Okay, let's see. I don't know
You
exactly.
didn't appear on the show for a reason. You just
No. I don't. I just think I didn't get my sketches in. It wasn't like I'm not appearing in the show.
And when you're on Saturday Night Live, I've heard this before. When you say you didn't get your sketches in, you have to write your own material. If you don't get it in, if
it doesn't pass muster,
then you're not on the show.
Right.
Wow,
Yeah.
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, every week.
So do you have to hire separate guys to help you write material?
No. I mean they're there. There's there's people you write with normally. So
right. Okay. Because I heard some people don't help other people. You know.
No, some people don't.
Right.
But I'm not. Because I'm not exactly the easiest guy to write for, though. I'm not like. I'm not an everyman. I can't be the boyfriend all the time. I'm more of a freak.
So why Norm Macdonald? I mean, Norm is an easygoing guy. I know Norm. Why the dislike? Something happened.
Well, let's see. When I first got on the show, he was so nice. He and Spade,
right,
were just like so nice. And then I don't know what happened. He just started. Like Garth Brooks was, we did like a pitch meeting, and he started saying things in the pitch meeting like you don't want to do. Like Garth Brooks was a guest. Yeah, was a guest. I was like, I'm sure you don't want to do another fag sketch. Like things like that. People would laugh.
Oh dear.
I was like, why is he saying? Why is it? And then it got kind of old. Like Jesus, Norm, you're like another.
And it makes you inhibited in a writing meeting if someone's goofing on you every time you open up your mouth, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't care because I'm not gay. If I was like, some gay guy going, I don't want anyone to know that I'm just
right. And so the gay jokes kept going and going and going.
Yeah, the gay jokes kept going and going.
And then you finally said, "Hey, I've had it with you, Norm."
Well,
did you ever confront him?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but it's like a playful thing. He says it's like a Jack Benny, Fred Allen, kind of a feud thing.
But you don't see it that way.
No, I think he's I don't know. But he this is what happened. We were on a flight together. We didn't plan on being together on the same flight. We were flying from LA back to New York to do Saturday Night Live, and it was a red eye, and he's behind me, and we're getting along, whatever. He's talking about crapping on women, or I don't know what he was talking about, something like that.
Yeah, something.
And it was funny because he was so loud,
right?
So everyone else could hear it. I'm like, I just crap on this girl.
Yeah,
and I'm like, laughing,
right?
Because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
And then I wake up. And, because it's a red eye, and one of my shoes is missing. And I was like, where's my shoe? And Norm's like, hey, you lost your shoe, huh? And then he leaves. And I'm like, so disoriented. And I'm the last guy in the flight looking for my shoe. And I just, walk off the plane with one shoe. And all the stewardesses like, you are funny.
Oh, no. So he stole your shoe.
He stole my shoe.
And he's playing goofs on you. He's not respecting you.
Right.
Right.
And then I took his jacket on a really cold night.
Yes.
And his assistant called me at home going, I gotta get Norm's jacket. Please get me Norm's jacket. And she was like freaking out.
Right.
I was like, no, this is between Norm and I.
You can't play in this game.
I've interviewed Chris before. He's a good guy. Chris.
Thank you.
Is it not true that Jim Brewer, your former cast member, had a problem with you as well?
I think at one point he thought I stole an idea from him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, man, there's so much infighting. You got to admit.
But that's it, though.
Really?
That's not much for like 6 years.
With a lot of the cast members, and I think with Chris, do you remember that Rolling Stone cover came out, and they only put certain members of SNL on the cover?
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Didn't that cause a lot of strife inside?
Yeah, well...
Why, they only chose certain amount of people for the cover. It was you.
Right, it was Will, me, Molly Shannon, and Sherry O'Terry.
And you did the cover, and the rest of the cast felt like, hey, what are we, garbage?
What is this?
But why be mad at you?
It was because of our characters, too. It was like there was the cheerleaders.
You were the breakout guys.
Roxbury guys.
Right.
And Mary Catherine.
But aren't they mad or jealous because you guys broke out and they didn't? And don't they think that you should stick up for them and insist that they be on the cover as well? But you don't have that kind of juice.
No, what are we gonna?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's only makes sense that they would be on the cover, but what are we gonna do? Right. I mean, Norm wanted to be. There's a big stink because he wanted to be on the cover
by himself.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I don't know if he wanted. No, he wanted to be
in that picture.
I don't know. He showed up later, and then he wanted to be. He wanted to stand in the middle of us.
And you said no.
Well, it was just like weird.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Why are you
like who are you?
Right here? It's like my variety show. What?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess he thought he was the guy. All right, Chauncey, thanks. All right. Artie Lang, go ahead.
Hey,
Artie
what's
Lang.
up, man?
Yeah, hey, Artie.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, I like Chris. I think he's funny. But what he said before about that Rolling Stone cover is wrong.
All right, go. Artie's going to defend Norm, I guess.
Norm representative.
You might be wrong.
All right, go ahead.
No, it's just that Chris made it sound like Norm showed up begging to get on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Oh no, he wasn't begging. He was just like assuming he was on the cover with us. And
well, he was though.
I know he was.
But he wanted to stand in the middle as well.
No. They were begging Norm to do it. And he thought it seemed weird.
He didn't want to do it.
Right. He thought it seemed weird to stand in the middle of all you guys.
Oh, that's true.
They
That is true.
definitely wanted Norm
That
to
is
be on
true.
the cover because at the time, I mean, he was the funniest guy on the show. Howard, you've said that a million times.
I think Norm is hysterical.
He is. Ice already said that.
Yeah, and so does Chris.
But,
I think
you know,
Chris.
he made it sound like Norm's begging to get on the cover of Rolling Stone.
No,
You guys said no.
Hey, Artie, do you know why Norm has such a problem with Chris?
No.
What
think,
is his problem?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't there when they met or all that stuff happened.
He's never really.
Well, you are Mrs. Norm
Wait a
MacDonald.
minute, you weren't there during the shoot either, but you know all about that.
You know, as a matter of fact, I was, because me and Norm had already done the movie, and I had lunch with his assistant. We went over there.
There you go.
They said that this guy Don Ohlmeyer turns out to be the president.
Yeah, now I know Don Ohlmeyer, and just between you and me, he's an idiot.
Oh.
So I wouldn't take it seriously. If this guy fired you, you may still have a job. You never know.
Norm is here. Norm's so much in the news every time I turn around.
What? Oh, me in the news?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Hotter than ever.
Yeah.
My gosh. Looks like they did you a big favor over there at NBC.
Yeah, they hate me.
Oh, but look what happened to you. Became a movie star, just like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But hadn't you already started filming this movie long before that whole controversy began?
Yeah.
So what do you make of all this?
What do I make of it?
Yeah, what's the point?
The point of
they're
what?
trying to make, you know.
Who?
Oh,
So you got to explain to the people.
no, they read the papers. They know.
Yeah, they know that NBC has banned promotion or commercials featuring your movie on their network.
Yeah, because
so
this character, Don Ohlmeyer, he's the president of NBC, you see?
Yeah.
And he hates me.
Yeah.
But you've only met him one time, I understand.
I've only met him once.
So this is not a personal reason that he hates you.
Yes, he hates me personally.
But you like him, don't you?
I think he's a fair enough fella. I met him once. He seems like a stand-up guy. I don't hate anybody.
That's
you
right.
know Don Ohlmeyer?
I've met him a couple of times, sure.
He seems like a nice enough
Yes,
fella.
absolutely.
And I don't, you know, put it this way. His best friend is O.J. Simpson, right? Now, if you can like O.J. Simpson, you can like me. You know what I mean?
I wonder what it is about you.
Feelings flowing up and down, picking up the pieces that you left behind, hitting a new type of flow, breathing in the smoke and clearing up my mind. The thoughts of you, I never knew what the hell you got me into. What do you mean?
Barbara Walters never listens to me. Barbara, are you listening? I have to talk to Sherry Shepherd. Fortunately, we share views on dinosaurs. But I can never get that lady, the old lady.
You are really wild. I mean, you're wild in that show, and you're wild in person.
What?
Yeah. Don't you think?
No, I think you're wild.
What is it like on the set of that show with you?
What is it like? Well, what do you mean?
What do I mean? Well, because you're so average
She
and
thinks you're
normal, you
wacky.
can't remember.
Well,
I think
I'm
you're
just saying it's hard to
wonderfully wacky.
memorize. We're not walking around the set going, hey, you know.
What do you do? So, unless you've been living under a rock, Star Wars. I do not understand why people stand in line for days and days and days. They can't see the movie in 2 weeks. I mean, they don't have jobs. In any event, so I went to see Star Wars. I have never seen any of the Star Wars, and I felt terrible about it until I learned that
I
you'd
never saw
seen
it.
it.
Never saw the first
No,
one.
I never saw any of them.
No.
You never saw any of it? You never wanted to see Star Wars?
No, I never liked them. I don't like those science fiction because my dad always hated them. And you know how you try to be what your dad, you try to be, you know what I mean? And I remember when I was a kid, I watched that Twilight Zone. Remember that show?
Yeah.
And oh my God, my dad hated it because it was too fantastical, and he thought I should be doing the chores. And I remember one time, me and my brother were watching Star
All I
Wars.
said was, have you ever seen Star Wars?
I was just giving you a little backstory.
You were going to take steroids?
Yeah, but then I found out, you know that they shrink your testicles? Did you know that? I swear to God.
You know what? If you look at this little action figure, I'm telling you.
Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Oh.
Too bad. And I have have to say, Norm, that speaking as you just did, you fit right into this category. And we may just add you every day to our Hot Topics. Norm,
Thank you.
So try these words out. Droll, sarcastic, controversial, hilarious. Well, those are some of the words that are used to describe Norm MacDonald's character on his sitcom, Norm. But as you will see in this clip, people may think twice before they use the words smooth or charming. Take a look.
Hey, Lori. Hey, look, I can see your underwear there.
You're supposed to see him.
Yeah, that's a little desperate, isn't it?
I'm playing tennis with Shelley.
You're playing tennis with Shelley?
Yeah.
Hey, I have an idea that would even be more fun for you. If I played tennis with Shelley, while you, I don't know what you do, who cares?
And in spite of that, please welcome Norm MacDonald.
What's up, man?
Okay, Norm, you're Canadian.
Yes, I am.
So what do you think of this whole presidential mess?
Well, I hope that the Democrats don't steal the election from the winner, you know, but who knows?
You like George Bush, don't you?
I love George Bush, man. He's a good man, decent, you know, none of this. He's, you know, he's not a liar, a crook, murderer, or anything like that. So it'd be good to get the. See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers?
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to, you're not allowed to put out no accusations without.
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does
let's
work.
just go on to the next question. Please.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen,
No,
we don't need
I
to
don't want
talk
to get
about
into
that.
this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question. So get with it.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up. Shut up. Look,
Okay.
let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now. Let's talk football.
All right, manslaughter.
Let's talk football.
Look at this.
That was me. I met him.
That's you.
Yeah, I met him.
And
well,
Rick
that's me on
Dees.
the. Yeah, I was friends with Rick's son, so we saw him the Bad concert at the Coliseum.
Oh.
Way worse story. Than
Yeah, that.
you got. Macaulay Culkin and Michael Jackson played Good Cop, Bad Cop with you, and
Yeah.
I met him backstage at the Coliseum.
And Rick Dees is just there.
Yeah, I'm more excited about Rick in this photo, to be honest. And did you meet? You met? I heard you met
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Jackson.
I did meet Michael Jackson.
That's pretty goddamn cool.
Yeah, that is insane. It's quite a story. I can try to condense it for you.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah. I when I was in the 8th grade, I had a girlfriend, and everything fell apart later in my life. But I peaked around 8th grade, and I had a really pretty girlfriend. And her father knew Michael Jackson. He ran a studio or something, and they offered us to go out to Neverland for the day. And so we went up there, and it was probably months before the whole lawsuit and everything.
The first one?
Yeah, and in fact, Macaulay Culkin came by, as were all the boys that sued him, and all this insane stuff that I did the whole thing. I met the
Wait, what do you mean
monkey.
the whole thing?
You know what I mean? No, I did not. I didn't even do it with my girlfriend. Why was I going to do it with him? I met Bubbles, and I went in Mac and Mike's theme park. It was a water park that he and Macaulay made. themselves. They built basically like what every kid would ever want. Water. It was all built-in water guns at every post and flood buttons and all these water balloons, hundreds of them and we were on teams, and I was on his team, and we won.
You were on Michael Jackson.
I was on Michael Jackson's team, and I remember
You met Michael Jackson.
Oh, I hung out with him for the whole time.
That's awesome.
And we won, and then we played a game which now, as I recall it, does sort of seem slightly incriminating, but
go on.
It was called Smoke Tag, and we went into a room that was filled with smoke, and we played tag in it, but you couldn't see anybody. So there was a lot of like tag playing, you know, and that was when Macaulay Culkin was there at that point, and it was the 4th of July weekend, and they were having whole fireworks, and Macaulay Culkin sped up in a golf cart with flames on the side and jumped out with like a leather jacket, and he was like a real punk. And when we played this smoke tag, he threw me on the ground, and we started this like feud that continued throughout the evening. And when we ended up in Michael's toy attic, after we watched a movie in his movie theater, including a retrospective of his own life, and then all the little Culkins were doing impressions of him, like hee hee, and he was sitting there just watched the whole retrospective. He at one point leaned over and said, like, to Macaulay, you know, like, oh, remind me, I gotta call Toys R Us. We'll close it down and head out there over the weekend. It was like Elvis closed supermarkets or whatever. And then when we were up in this toy attic where he had, at the time, every gaming system that was around in every game, and Macaulay Culkin he was throwing stuff at me, and then he hit me on the head with something, and I said, don't do that again anymore, or I'm gonna. I was a black belt, but this was years later. I had already forgotten. And he did it again, and I threw him against the wall, and I started slamming him against the wall, saying, "I told you not to fucking." And then Michael Jackson came in between us. You can let your mind rest there for a second.
I imagine the think of the bad video.
Yeah, and he parted us, and he put his arm around me, and he was like, sorry, you know, Mac can get a little. Rambunctious, and he's like, so where are you from? And I was like, oh, I live in, Los Angeles. Oh, yeah. He's like, how old are you? And I said, oh, I'm 12. And he said, oh, you Jewish? Which was like, fuck, it's still to this day, I don't know where that segue came from. And I said, I am. He said, oh, you gonna have a Hanukkah? And I said, what? And he said, a Hanukkah. You gonna have a Hanukkah? And I was like, he's like, I was like, every year I'll have one. And he's like, yeah, no, where you become a man. And I was like, oh, a bar mitzvah. He's like, yeah. And I said, yeah. And as soon as I said when I became a man, he shoved me away. I don't like him like that. No, but, and then I spent the night in his life-size dollhouse.
Jesus.
With my girlfriend at the time.
So you got to bring a girl then.
I had a girl there.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty amazing.
But it was absolutely the craziest thing. And I grew up, for me, it was that, Thriller was that was everything.
Album ever. That's probably the craziest thing that'll ever happen to you in your whole life.
I often think that. Yeah. I look around a room and I'm like, nobody else here has ever had anything. Amazing. I did go into his bedroom, and I went into his closet, and it's when he would wear the red shirt, black pants, fedora, mirror sunglasses, and his closet, it was like a cartoon. It was literally about 150 red shirts, 150 black pants, 150 fedora. It was like,
that's incredible.
And he had a TV that came out of the ground. I'd never seen anything like it.
That's a pretty goddamn cool story.
That beats the hell out of your story about getting fucked by Dan Fogelberg.
2 times today I've said something in
Dan
confidence.
Fogelberg's a great guy.
What if I actually got fucked by Dan Fogelberg?
Even, like you say, your unwanted, WNT, allegations against Michael Jackson, there had to be kids that were like, well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is not some old priest.
You know, we have some news stories here. Okay. I just wanted to cover. Let's see what's in the news. Actually, okay. You know, we got this one here. The international news. We have a new pope, and
how about all that crap made about that?
What
crap? With the black smoke and the white smoke and the millions of people.
Yeah.
I know the last thing the cardinal asked is, okay, before we elect a new pope, everyone raise your hand who molested a kid. Unanimous. I would like to see this. I brought this clip. Run it. This is how I would like to see the election of the Pope.
The election of the Pope?
Yes, run it.
As, here it is.
Here it
well,
is.
this isn't the...
no, this isn't it. Oh, there it
is.
There's the crowd. Now watch. Watch. All right, the door's going to open. And there's the Pope. There's the Pope. That's the Pope.
We should explain to the folks that was Michael Jackson.
Let's explain. Yeah, explain who Michael Jackson is to the people.
Everyone knows Michael Jackson. What, are you retarded?
Tell us about it. It's the rules. It's how to capture a man's heart, and it's for women. And it says all these rules that you have to follow, and you will capture a man's heart. And the rule number 1: have huge breasts. Yeah, that guy likes it. Yeah. Because apparently men love women with huge breasts. They do. They like that.
Newlyweds Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson had their first argument this week. He wants kids, while she wants fake kids. Pop singer Madonna was outraged this week when a tabloid photographer snapped her picture while she was breastfeeding her new baby. Apparently, the baby was blocking her nipple. Connecticut legislatures are about to pass a law that would make it illegal to prohibit breastfeeding in public. Then, hopefully, these legislatures will also change the fascist law that the person being breastfed in public has to be a baby. Michael Jackson has reportedly stepped right into his new role as a dad, spending many hours a day with his newborn son, doing the changing, the burping, even the breastfeeding. So, it's nice when a fella does that. Asked recently what will set his new Batman film apart from its predecessors, Batman and Robin director Joel Schumacher said, quote, "In this one, all the costumes will have nipples." Note to self, do not watch the next Batman and Robin. Well, Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 most powerful people in Hollywood hit the newsstands this month. In an odd bit of ranking, Demi Moore was ranked number 28, while her breasts were ranked 20 and 21. So, in an interview out this week, Demi Moore says she would like to have another baby, this time a boy, to go along with her 3 daughters and 2 huge breasts. Demi Moore is wrapped filming on G.I. Jane, in which she plays a Navy SEAL combat officer. Moore says that in contrast to other Hollywood portrayals of women in the military, her character will have giant breasts. Actor Bruce Willis is filming his next movie, The Broadway Brawler, in Wilmington, Delaware. Meanwhile, his wife, Demi Moore, is taking a break from movie work, saying she wants to spend more time with her huge breasts.
I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go, go. I'm scared of letting go of everything and
I think it's attractive.
I like Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh,
come on.
You're
You don't like her?
Come on.
You don't like Anna Nicole Smith?
Come on, she's gotten heavy. He's putting me on.
No, I'm not. I saw a picture of her recently where she was really, really fat, where she didn't look good.
Right, but you're talking about years ago when she was thin. Oh, okay.
Not that long ago. Yeah, a couple of years ago.
So you like big breasts?
Yeah, I like big breasts.
Does your wife have big breasts?
She has normal size.
What,
breasts.
C cups?
I don't know. I hear you talking about those. I don't follow those.
You're in bad shape. Do you like Sally Struthers too?
Oh, I did.
You did, right? Yeah, that's your type.
Oh my
like
God,
blonde
I
and
love
buxom.
Sally Struthers.
Not anymore though.
What?
Well, you don't like her anymore.
No, I don't like her with the flies around her.
It's kind of a turn off.
And then you mentioned before, Norm eventually got fired, and the rumors were that it was too many OJ jokes and that sort of thing, which is ironic because you told me
that wasn't really a rumor. I mean, that was that's why.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people don't realize that Norm could have stayed if he had agreed to let them fire Jim Downey. Jim is one of the best writers in the history of the show. He had been head writer for many years, but he could have stayed if he had agreed to fire Downey. And people ask me, well, why didn't? And he never. And I'll tell you another thing. You talk about Norm. From what I know, I don't know anybody. I mean, I was in touch with Norm, but I hadn't seen him in a while when he, when I heard he passed away. I certainly didn't know he was sick. I'm sure his producing partner and really like a best friend, his Lori Jo, I would assume she knew. I don't know if he told his family. Norm never told Jim directly that he could have stayed at SNL if he fired him, but Jim heard it from other people, not just me. It wasn't even a thought that he was like, oh, they said I could keep doing it without Downey, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a discussion. I don't know if that answered. I don't even remember the question.
No, we were talking about OJ, and actually it reminded me.
OJ. Oh yes, look, it was Don Ohlmeyer's friend, and we just kept
hammering him, right? What about you told me that
I'm in New Canaan visiting my little son, and the first thing I see is the sound was off on the TV, and he's sitting in his high chair, and he was like 2 years old, I guess, and so he looks up at the thing, and there's Chris Farley. But with the sound off, he didn't know exactly what it was. He starts laughing hysterically just at the sight of Chris Farley. And then the phone rings, and it's Mike Shoemaker from the show, who's a producer at the show. And he says a couple things. Chris Farley's dead, and you and Norm were fired.
Wow.
And so apparently, and later, guess what? It was like 3 years later, Norm told me, and he had never said this to me, because if our positions were reversed, I would have said it right away. He said, they told me like it wasn't, that they were only firing you, that I was welcome to stay. And I said, I won't do it without Downey. And so they said, okay, motherfucker, be our guest. So that's how Norm came to be fired. He went out of solidarity with me. So
well, I think it's probably smart because you made it. You guys together were really good. It probably would have.
He would have been.
He's
fine
great, but
me,
you're great, right?
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer.
Our top story tonight comes from the O.J. Simpson civil trial, where this week it was revealed that in his first interview with police, Simpson had refused to take a lie detector test. His reason? It detects lies. This week at the O.J.
He did this bit for us that he insisted on doing.
Sully Sullenberger?
Yes. He did a bit where he came out and he's like, Conan, I've made a movie. And I'm like, oh, really? You've made a movie? And yeah, I funded it myself. And it was about Sully Sullenberger, who landed.
Sully Sullenberger biography.
Yeah, biography about the pilot who landed the plane. And I think maintained that he did this. He had this idea before Tom Hanks. So he's a little indignant.
Well, it was actually, we showed it before Hanks ever made the movie.
Oh, is that true? Okay,
yes.
All right. It was 2009.
It was right after Sully Sullenberger heroically landed on the Hudson.
And so he shot this thing, and he got to our show early, and of course it looks like shit because we just had with the barest cockpit set,
Are you familiar with Sully Sullenberg?
The captain
You know
who
him?
landed the plane on the Hudson. Everybody knows Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Everybody now knows who he is. I've known him for quite a long time.
You knew him before this whole thing happened?
I knew him 10 years ago.
You knew Sully Sullenberger, the captain who landed the plane on the Hudson, that long?
Yes.
10 years?
Yes. And I, as soon as I first met him, I thought there's something special about this guy, and I bought his story.
You're kidding. That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, I met him in, where did I meet him? Airport. I met him, it was a Sbarro's.
Uh-huh. That adds up, yeah.
And he was getting pizzas, he was getting pepperoni, but anyway, whatever. So
To this day, I don't know what that sketch is.
Well, it was a dry bit. It was a very dry sketch.
It was one of the driest things I've ever seen.
So the idea is that Sully Sullenberger heroically landed on the Hudson like around that time.
Yeah.
He made this movie about Sully Sullenberger, but 6 months it's been in the can. So he was looking for an ending.
Yeah.
And this guy lands. So basically,
no, the joke is
the clip
he made a movie about Sully Sullenberger before he heroically landed the plane on the. So,
so the clip is him landing on the tarmac. That's
successfully. He successfully lands the plane
and says, "Thanks for flying American Airlines.
Yes,
have a good day."
So I heard you made a movie. This is going to be a huge movie. You have the movie of Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Yeah, I could. But save it up for the thing. Now listen, you know why you're standing up here. I'm just kidding you. I love you. That's why. Hey, you wanna land this?
Yeah.
Pretty well lands itself. But mostly, I know there's not enough time, but mostly we talked about it was a love story.
What? A love story with who?
Him and his wife, Lori Sungelberger. What was her name? I wrote this bit 25 minutes ago.
You want the clip or should we get out of here?
No, we should do the clip.
All right, take a look at this clip.
Sully, why didn't you give me a seat? Why do I
break it here, I guess?
A clip, and this must have exciting footage.
Well, well.
This story, the end of this story is incredible. When the engines go out and
the movie's been in the can for 6 months.
You made a movie about Captain Sully Sullenberger, and you finished it before he even crashed the plane on the Hudson landed.
Yeah, and it's too bad, man, because I was struggling for an ending for a long time. It's called Sully Sullenberger. Sully Sullenberger.
You clearly spent 10 years you've known this man? You didn't you forgot the at the end of his name?
I call him by a nickname, whatever. It's called Sully Sullenberger, Airport Pilot. But anyways, I brought a clip.
Oh, let's take a look at the clip.
Oh, can I say something?
Yeah, yeah.
I play Sully.
You play Sully in the movie? We have to see this now. Unbelievably, this was shot before the incident that made him famous, but let's take a look.
On behalf of U.S. Airline, we know you have a lot of choices to make, and we're glad you chose us. Have fun in Kansas City, everybody. It's not a good ending.
It's a terrible ending.
It's the worst possible ending. I keep saying reshoots, and they have no money for reshoots. They're like, I said a long shot of the Hudson. Nothing.
No, that's not going to do it. And he insisted on using the woman who did his makeup, Deborah Pullman. He insisted on using her in the bit, even though it's not even clear why he needed her in the bit.
His wife played his wife.
Yeah, played his wife, and.
I have to stand here for the whole flight.
I told you it's cheaper.
So the joke is that amazingly, a director decides to make a movie about a random pilot, Sully Sullenberger, and makes it about a successful landing before the most dramatic landing in the history of aviation. And he showed this thing. I think he had a fake mustache on.
Yes,
but he's barely, and this is another thing I love about him. He didn't care at all about the craft of acting.
Yeah.
And I'll watch